Good morning and welcome. It's kind of a rainy Friday. We're at Buddy Brew. I got my latest bag of beans that I just purchased. It's the Burundi City. If you want it, it's great. They say this is one of the best beans they've had in years. So make sure you come to Buddy Brew Coffee. We're here with Startup Tampa Bay, EDI2, hashtag EDI2. Got just a few notifications before we got to get into the conversation. First, don't forget, Ignite. Ignite Tampa? Ignite Tampa. Ignite Tampa Bay. Okay, Ignite Tampa Bay is going to be this April, and it's the 23rd, 25th? Okay, I'm getting everything wrong. It's April 25th, and it's going to be at the Tampa Theater. Got that right. And you're invited. We want everyone to participate. It's 20 slides, and you got to do it in 5 minutes. So it's quick and it's fast. After Ignite Tampa, we've got MetaFuture 2023. That's an event that's being put on by the EDC. It's going to be at Camels, which is in downtown, and that's going to be May 13th. So make sure, if you haven't already, look up MetaFuture 2023, register. We want everyone to attend. It's going to be a fabulous conference dealing with innovation and the medical industry and really disruptive medical innovation. So it's going to be fantastic. We've also got Bar Camp, and they have a date for Bar Camp. Joy, when's Bar Camp? September 28th. So how can they find out about Bar Camp, Joy? You can go to barcamp.com.
Barcamp Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Ken Evans, Joy Randall, the regulars, but we actually have one out of towner, and then we've got another gentleman who is from Tampa Bay who's got a really cool company, Nazar, who you're going to be meeting in a few seconds. But I have to introduce Kurt, who flew all the way down from Denver, Colorado, just to be here for this show, right?
Absolutely.
We pay for your ticket, we pay for your coffee.
Excited to be here. Excited to be here.
But actually, he is from Denver, and he's involved in startup companies in Denver, and he's looking to perhaps relocate in the Tampa Bay area. And part of the conversation is really kind of what do we have that would lure someone from Denver and other areas to Tampa Bay, but also what we're talking about is some of the things you've heard about Tampa Bay that we don't have. You know, when people say, well, why would you come here? Because we don't have, maybe it's a tech town or whatever. So let's throw it to you since we got you here. What's your name and tell us who you are?
Well, my name is Kurt Stansberry. As I said, we're looking to relocate to the Tampa area, looking for opportunities down here with early stage companies, potentially, or opportunities to bring startup companies down to the Tampa area. So I had an opportunity to meet Joy, and she invited me over.
How did you find Joy?
I actually found Joy on LinkedIn as I was looking for people to connect with down here. Joy is a very active member of the Tampa Bay Technology Forum group on LinkedIn, and I saw a couple of posts from her.
Tampa Bay Technology Forum, which is Heather Kenyon's group, correct? Mm-hmm. Got to give a plug to Heather. She's doing a great work organizing a lot of people. So really big thank you to Tampa Bay Tech Forum. Go ahead.
Yep, and so Joy was kind enough to respond to my invitation and invite me down here to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Tampa Bay market and various things.
So what type of startup companies do you have in Colorado?
So, you know, there's all kinds of startup companies in Colorado, especially in the technology area. So I think Joy is very familiar with this. There's a lot of companies in the security space, IT, cloud computing, software as a service-based companies, a lot of startup organizations, a lot of large organizations with hosting.com and various things like that. But I see really a lead with a lot of technology, especially up in the Boulder area and south of Denver, various places like that. So it's primarily technology-based.
So if you were going to relocate to Tampa Bay, what would the advantages be of you coming down here and starting up a business?
Yeah, so I think the advantages of being down here to a certain degree really have to do with cost of living. You look at housing prices, and really for me it's more of a personal thing. And wanting to relocate to the area. I have family that lives in the area, as well as I really enjoy the climate of the West Coast and the friendly people. So,
how about disadvantages? What have you heard about us that would say, maybe I should rethink this?
You know, a lot of the concerns that I have really are around the job market in Tampa for technology folks. So when you look at, again, whether it's perception or reality, being from out of town, you read a lot of articles, you see a lot of postings on LinkedIn where there just really is a lack of technology talent to fill positions. within the area. So I kind of looked at it, I think I had mentioned more of a chicken and an egg kind of a thing, where if you want to bring a technology company to the Tampa Bay area, are there the technologists and the skills available in the workforce here to actually fulfill the needs of that particular company in doing the software development, even so much as to folks that are familiar with product management, product marketing in a technology space. And again, you read a lot about that in the Tampa Bay Tribune, about the gap between the skill sets needed and what is available in the workforce today.
Guys?
That is the perception. That clearly is where we have been, and I, say over and over again, the Tampa Bay is a very services economy, not necessarily a product economy, and that drives the people that do have technical talent and the management talent to do early stage companies. It drives them underground, or as Joy always says, it puts them on a plane every week. They get on a plane Sunday night or Monday morning. They go work someplace else where there is a product economy, or where the wages are in keeping with their level of technical or management talent, and they come home to enjoy Tampa, Florida on the weekends. And that's an ongoing problem that we have.
How do we convince Kurt from Colorado that we have the tech talent that would, even with all the advantages we have of sunshine, family, and low cost of living? How do we convince them we have the tech talent?
Well, this is a good start. Not reading everything in the Tribune or the Times,
right?
And not looking at the literature from economic development or the people that are very, very focused on tourism and construction, but looking at the people that are actually involved in the industry, that talk about it day to day, week to week at places like this, and people that are doing things behind the scenes and in the background and putting on things like Bar Camp every year. You mentioned Bar Camp. This will be our 6th year for Bar Camp in Tampa Bay.
Wow.
And last year we had over 800 people. That is pretty big on a national scale. Those are the people that have the talent. Those are the people that have the passion to work in early stage companies. Not everyone has that, but there is a substantial number of people here that have done that or are willing to do that, and that's the people that you need to know. Those are the resources you need to tap into, right, so you get the confidence that you can actually do a startup or do a product company here in Tampa Bay.
I think the other thing that's probably, we're getting to a different type of maturity level here too now today. So I mean, for years you have people who've gone through 1 or 2 startups. So now you're seeing a lot of people who are on their 3rd or 4th, right, from an entrepreneur's perspective in the community. And they're now at a point where they start to hire more people and put more back into the community because they want to see the community grow. And so you're starting to see that in a lot of individuals, I think. And every startup community that starts out, it kind of grows through that point. So I think we've reached a maturity stage now. We're kind of at that inflection point in a lot of ways. And so now's the time to kind of really be able to scale it. So a lot of those people who've kind of flown underground, I mean, like, Mark, you had no idea who I was. I mean, I've known Ken for...
I met you at Bar Camp.
15 years.
10, 20, 30 years.
It's like a long time. Ken, I've known each other for a long time, before either one of us ever lived here. And, there's a lot of other people who just kind of fly under the radar. I mean, somebody talked to me yesterday and said, oh, there's probably, 7 or 8 of you guys. I'm like, there's probably 25 of us. But I don't think, we have a tendency to do exactly what Ken said, right? I'm going to go start this company, I'll go, and so I'm just going to kind of go do my thing.
Right.
And you're now starting to see people kind of come to the point where it's like, yeah, I can do that, but now I want to see the community flourish. So now I'm at a point where I want to see other things grow. So I'm going to come out and I'm going to say what I think and do those kind of things. And that's what we really need. And so I think, I've seen recently too, I've known 6 different former CEOs who've relocated here, and they're starting their new companies here. They sold their last business in another city, Atlanta, Chicago, one up in DC, and they've now said, you know what, I want to live here, so I'm going to come here for a lot of reasons, right? I think people like the climate. They're at a point in their life where, their kids are like teenagers are going to college, so we've got great universities here, so a lot of them put their kids in school here, and they're relocating and say, I'm going to build my next business here, which I think is really beneficial to the community as a whole, because they're bringing with them both their intellectual capital as well as capital as a whole. So they're not in a situation where they care that there's a VC on every corner. It doesn't matter. They're going to start those companies and build those companies, and they have the capital to do that.
Okay, but the capital question, because that's always a question, and I want to make sure that we have an opportunity for Nazar, who's got a cool company called Text by Choice. We talk about being able to make things. Nazar's making things, and he's here local. But whether it's Nazar, Kurt, anyone else, Joy, you've got the capital. You're the one looking at companies and considering whether you're going to invest in them. But My question is, if you're thinking about coming here and you're needing startup capital, would you be worried that maybe we don't have the startup capital necessary? Would you try to get in the Colorado area or go back out to the West Coast and then bring your company down here? How does that work?
From a lot of capital raising is connections.
Yep.
Right? There's no doubt about it. So, certainly you would want to, if you were relocating, wanting to try to open a business down here, you would go to somebody like Joy. Maybe Joy's not the person, but Joy would say, you know what, here are the 5 other people that you should probably go talk to, make your pitch to, or the 25 other people. That you would definitely want to try to find local partners, because again, trying to give back to the community, trying to keep the money that's here. Let the investors invest in the companies that are here. Don't bring, you go to Silicon Valley Bank and they're going to invest in anybody wherever you're at.
Right.
But why not try here first? Now that is not something that I have looked into. I don't know the availability. I was talking with Nazar. Sounds like there's a number of folks out there that are still kind of holding their money on the sidelines at this point in time.
Yeah.
Where I think that you look at California, you look at Colorado, you look at different places where I think we're starting to see a lot of the investment community take the money off of the sidelines and start taking the risk. I think they're seeing the economy turn around enough in Denver. We're seeing housing prices go back up. We're seeing unemployment numbers go down. And the investors are starting to have more confidence. So the question is, does that same environment exist here in this area with the folks from the investment community that they're willing to take it off the sidelines? Let's take a risk on the entrepreneurs. Let's take a risk in our community and give back here and see what we can do. So.
Cool. You're a natural. Man, we should
You're the new co-host.
No.
All right. I want to make sure that we get Nazar in. And Nazar, why don't you tell us who you are and a little bit about your company?
Sure. My name is Nazar Bojani, and my venture is called Text by Choice. We are in the group texting and text marketing space, and we empower businesses to connect with their customers with the text medium. So for small businesses especially, who cannot afford high-end marketing dollars to promote their businesses, we come and help them out, set up a text campaign which is extremely affordable and simple to use, so they can connect with their consumers, so they can get additional revenue when the consumers sees that promotion. Not only it's for small businesses, but it also applies to associations and schools to send out event reminders, announcements, whatever have you. And the great part is, like, it's not just a text message. Within the text message, you can actually embed links and phone numbers or whatever you want to. So people have an opportunity to click that link and go to either the seller's page or the association's page and read more about it. So it's a wonderful, wonderful avenue. The great part is that there's no charge towards the consumer end. They have to have their texting plan, but it works on any phone. You don't have to have a data plan. That's the beauty of it. So even the phone that you carry, which is a very simplistic in nature, it's text enabled. And the great part about it is it's a consumer driven. That means the consumer has all the power, meaning when they can opt in or when they can opt out. So we're 100% FCC compliant, okay? So we do not believe in spam, and we do not encourage spamming. So that's a huge deal and we also encourage our vendors to not over communicate to their consumers, okay? Because sometimes less is more. Okay, so we want to make sure that they understand that you don't want to annoy the consumer or their customer base, because and you want to keep that relationship very healthy. Okay, it's all about customer experience. Okay, so we want to win the hearts at both ends. The consumer should be happy, so should be the vendor.
How old is your company?
It's about 2 years.
And before that, what were you doing?
Well, I worked in different places as a consultant, as a developer.
And you just wanted to start your own company?
I have always wanted to do that.
Is your family here?
Yes.
Why? Okay, so why did you decide to stay in Tampa and not go somewhere else where you thought maybe you could get more money or have a better shot at getting the company?
Tampa Bay is, there is no reason to leave Tampa Bay. I mean, it's beautiful.
That's a good slogan. We can use that. There's no reason to leave Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
There's no reason to leave and every reason to come. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
God, you really are good. Watch out.
Yeah, it's got everything. Every city has its ups and downs. Okay, but I have been living here for about a dozen years now, okay, and I have visited other places, okay, places as Los Angeles, in California, a few places, and upstate New York. I have lived there, and if you think about affordability and from what you get, living at different places, the taxes you pay and what you get in return, and the community itself, okay, Tampa Bay has more to offer. It's likable. I enjoy living in Tampa. So.
I was talking with a group of students at USF, and we're going to be meeting with students from the University of Tampa here soon, and also HCC, but USF students, and they were from all over the world. A young man from Vietnam, a woman who just come down from New York, but their family experiences were all over the world. And what they were saying was Tampa Bay really is a friendly place, which is kind of nice. In fact, I was at Ella's last night, one of my favorite restaurants, local restaurants, on Nebraska. And the conversation was really about how Tampa Bay is developing a reputation for being a kind of a Midwest friendly environment, welcoming to everyone. We got very international, cosmopolitan, but also Kurt was even addressing this. Kurt, who didn't really know Joy, you meet her through LinkedIn, and instead of kind of a standoffish, what do you want? Pretty soon you're having coffee.
Yeah, the next thing you know, I'm sitting at a table.
That's how easy it is, So what you're saying is this is a good place to be. Now, do you think that if your goal, I would imagine, is to grow this company?
Absolutely.
And employ a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Do you think you can get the people here in Tampa?
Why not? They are here. The talent. I was talking to him, and I told him that the talent is here. Okay, you just need to boost. You provide that catalyst. Okay, to empower these students or talented people. So they feel that they can contribute. And they can work for inside Tampa Bay.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. EDI 2. Which is here's watch out because I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. EDI 2 really is a county initiative where we're going to be working with the bar camps, the health camps, the code camps, all the accelerators from Sprout Camp to the Tampa Bay Wave and the Tampa Bay Tech Forum, saying, look, you got events, we want to help you promote yourself, get people to come and talk. We're going to be inventorying. In fact, if you're out there and you want to be inventoried, we want to inventory you so we know who you are, where you are, and see if we can't kind of link you in to talent like this and all the others that are out there. But the idea is to kind of let people know what's here so that when you're thinking about starting a business, there's a large community. And then if you're interested in whether it's capital, expertise on just how to start a company, we got a gentleman who's right now in Mountain View, California. Talk to all the time, Fritz Eichelberg, a great guy who basically is tech talent man. If you want to know where talent is, Fritz knows where the talent is, and Fritz knows where the companies are. And he comes here to coffee. So if you're looking for a job, I would come here on Friday, look for Fritz, talk to him, and get some good data. Joy, did you want to ask a question or make a point or let me stop talking?
No, you're doing a great job of talking. I really do think that we have a lot of unique advantages here, in the community. And I think we're starting to see that groundswell sort of start to happen that needs to happen to have it really take off. And I look at people like, I met Nazar the other morning for breakfast, and we were talking, and here's a guy who is a great IT guy, so he has the skill sets everybody's talking about, right? And he said, I want to go build my own company, and he's worked for 1.5 years, to get his company going, to establish a customer base, and now he's at a point where he wants to quit his day job and, be able to invest in his business full time. And that's a hard point, right? Particularly people have families and kids and stuff. But I think we're getting to the point where we can help provide some of that safety net, right? So it's not quite as scary to jump off because there's enough other people in the support mechanism that are here. And you've got a lot of people who give back. If you think about it, we usually have 20 people in here on Friday morning that are going around saying, okay, how can I help you? Let me make connections and those kind of things. We have had over the last, since the inception of Bar Camp, we've had 33 companies formed out of that group, just by people meeting up and finding the other person. So who could be my co-founder, getting with the right people. I mean, and that's huge. I mean, I don't think people can think about it that way. And those companies begin to grow and hire people. And, you know, we're going to have more big success stories, I think, here in the community over the next few years as well.
The tech community is very, very small. I've known Joy for 20 some odd years, and really, this is the first time we've ever lived in the same adjacent zip codes.
It's true.
But, you know, we talk about Tampa being a small business community, but that's just in Tampa. People know each other. In the tech community, people know each other wherever they live.
Right.
And you keep those connections pretty much for your professional career or your life. So when you talk about being able to reach out and tap resources, Tampa to Denver is no big deal. Tampa to the West Coast is no big deal. But it's one of those things that it goes along with the culture of tech, being able to find people and find resources and tap them for their expertise wherever they happen to be. We're trying to build that culture here, so it's not just who Joy and I know over the past 30 years of our professional lives and being able to reach out to find someone in Seattle or in San Francisco, but being able to do that here. And do that with a level of confidence that there are enough people here to form businesses and support each other. It's strange when you talk about you know, quitting your day job. If you're in Seattle or if you're in Boulder and you talk to your neighbor about quitting your day job and starting up a tech company, they go, cool. There's a level of support. There's a level of understanding. You do it here. They go to the HOA to try to get you out of the neighborhood. So there is a building of a culture here that says it's not all about risk. It's about recognition of what it takes to start a small company and grow that and the type of things that you're doing for your community. And Tampa's not there yet. But if you talk to the right people in Tampa, you'll get the level of confidence and the level of credibility that will go, I think I can do that here.
One thing that I'm hoping, one thing we're trying to do is to grow it, and we're trying to grow it really from the ground up. So we're starting with, you know, instead of talking to the big mega companies, which I kind of fell into, and trying to get them to relocate down here, we're really talking to our startup community and trying to lift it up. But also yesterday I spent 2 hours with our superintendent of schools, Mary Ellen Elia. Had a great conversation with her about what they're doing in the schools. And first off, I'll tell you, and I'm going to make a request. They're looking for mentoring opportunities. The school district wants mentoring opportunities for their young students. And so, as I was talking to her about the school's participation in a lot of these events, and they're going to be at the MetaFuture event. We're talking about Ignite, certainly Bar Camp, Health Camp, and such. They want to be there. But they're also talking about their Microsoft IT Academy, which they've got, which I knew nothing about. So any family can basically join up, and for a nominal, I think it's like $9, very small, you're given the entire menu of Microsoft software, and your child can then become part of this Academy program. So, you know, I'll make a plug for it. I think it sounds kind of cool. They're talking about creating a STEAM, not just STEM, but a STEAM magnet school at Mosey, which is near our University of South Florida. And we're really talking about, as well, as we look at STEAM and the arts and how arts and design, how we can connect STEAM Tampa with what's going on in Orlando, which is phenomenal. Orlando leads the nation when you start looking at software design work as it applies to simulators for the military and also for healthcare. But if we can create that kind of arc, get young people excited, the culture will be there. We start talking to young kids, and they're already ahead of us. I mean, it's amazing how many young people I've talked to who already tell me they got plans for starting a business.
Right. You could be 17 years old and live in London and sell your technology idea for $30 million to Google accidentally, you know?
Right.
It's a good accident.
That does.
Wow. I mean,
That's one happy kid.
That's one very happy kid.
It's true. I actually know two guys down in Sarasota. They moved here from outside, actually, from the Midwest. They were 16-year-old millionaires. They call them the tech twins. So they've done this, and now they actually have a private equity firm, and they go buy companies and help rebuild them.
I mean, that's amazing. It's young, and we're either going to embrace that culture and really kind of loosen up a little bit. It's the one thing Tampa, I mean, I'm born and raised here, and often, you know, the thought was the perception, kind of good old boy, you know, the hierarchy, who you had to know, and that's really, that ceiling has been broken. And what you're finding now is that the people, and I give them a lot of credit for building a great community, but now what you have is truly kind of a democratized opportunity where everyone is engaged and really eager to build the community, and we're just trying to find ways, though, to get our young people engaged a startup community engaged. We need as much information about you if you're watching this. Let us know who you are. We're going to be trying to post that information and try to get you here at the table if you want to come. I know we got to close here in a few, but anybody have anything they'd like to add for the good of the order?
Just come to Ignite, because you're going to get to see opportunity to see a ton of those entrepreneurs who've been there and done that, and the people who really are involved in the community and want to make a difference, whether it's in technology or things that enable young people. I think you'll be super impressed with the people who are going to be speaking there.
And the Hillsborough County Hack-a-thon is next weekend, starting Friday the 12th, 13th, and 14th. It's a weekend of coding and building products.
With a prize.
With cash prizes and other wonderful, lovely prizes. There's a difference between growing up in tech and ending up in tech.
Right.
And when you start kids young and you expose them to things like the Microsoft and Code for Learn to Code, Code for America, hackathons, things of that nature, you build a passion for building products. So people that grow up in tech end up creating tech, creating products, joining and building tech companies. People that end up in tech end up working, answering phones at Verizon. So there's a big difference between what your tech culture is and what it can be. And we want the kids to really, the kids and the older kids, to really understand that building products is really where tech can be applied for the good of the community.
Do we classify ourselves as the older kids?
I'm a much older kid. I still want to see products.
Okay.
I still want to build products.
We want to ignite Tampa Bay. So really hope you get involved. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back here. We're here every Friday, except when we're not, which means we're at a university or we're talking to other people. But I'm Eric, who knows where we are from week to week. Eric, are we here next week, or where are we next Friday? Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, we'll be live at HCC Brandon, 4:30 on Friday, next Friday, for the inaugural Hillsborough Hack, or Hack Hillsborough.
And the website for that is hackhillsborough.com. So go to that, look at it, sign up, come and participate, show up and just see what's going on. It's going to be a great event.
Cool, thank you. That's a wrap.